Alright, here we are with round one of our Restore Balance deck for Modern. This hand is not too good. We have two Gargadons, we really only need one. We have a Restore Balance, which we never want in our hand. And we don't have any border posts, so I think I gotta ship this. This hand would be fine if we had one basic, which we don't, so we're going to 5. And this isn't great, but I guess we're keeping. Not off to a super exciting start here. Violent Outburst, okay. So we really could use some of our border posts. The deck really relies on those to function. Blood Crypt, eh? So what does Blood Crypt mean? I guess he could be a burn deck. Could be Jund. Polluted Delta might be a budget consideration for a fetch land. I've noticed that coming up more and more in Modern. You can play the KTK fetches for so much less than you can play the the Zendikar fetches. Return to Zendikar, or Battle for Zendikar, is coming out in the fall, actually. So we'll get a Plains here. We will probably... Alright, now we can pay 1, use the alternate casting cost on this border post, which is good. Then we can play a Plains, and we are just going to suspend that Restore Balance. So now we are a green source away from Violent Outburst, and a red or black source away from Demonic Dread. He has double Young Pyromancer, which is a little scary. But cascading into a Restore Balance pretty much takes care of all of our problems. What do we get here? Another border post. Okay, so we are going to pay 1, return a basic for our border post. Then we're going to replay this Plains and suspend a Nihilith. So next turn we're planning on casting our Demonic Dread, which, assuming it resolves... That was kind of nice. Assuming it resolves, he'll go down to 1 land and 0 creatures. And we are going to be pretty close to getting back to getting our Nihilith off suspend. Tech Edge isn't too scary. I guess like a Sorin or something would be kind of annoying. Yeah, so that's a little annoying. He's going to pump it up. Get in for 6. Nihilith. Alright, so take some counters off suspend. Well, that's not bad. Unfortunately, I guess we can pay 1, play this border post. Then we'll replay our land and cast Demonic Dread. So he's going to have to sack both of his Young Pyromancers, sack down to 1 land, and discard a card. And I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counters coming off of our Nihilith. So our Nihilith will come into play, and we can knock Sorin down to 1. And there's our Nihilith. Suspend is sweet. It's not very intuitive, but when a card comes off suspend, it does have haste. I noticed a reminder text on there. So we'll just hit Sorin here. Next turn, we should be able to kill Sorin. We're still at a relatively high life total, which is nice. And we're set up for another Cascade if we need to. On the other hand, we can also start casting our Lingering Souls. So he pumps up his Sorin, which I think we just need to kill so he doesn't get a Vampire. Terramorphic, we're not going to cast our Terramorphic yet. Until we draw a Gargadon or more border posts, we don't really want more lands in play. We also have the Suspended Restore Balance, which is the reason I'm not casting Lingering Souls. That's going to be better as a follow-up to Restore Balance, since that's going to wipe away a bunch of creatures. Well, there's a border post. So I think here the plan is to return the land for a border post, and now we're just going to do nothing. We're going to wait for this Restore Balance to come down. Yes, we're going to lose our Nihilith, but we're going to put him to 0 lands. And then after Restore Balance resolves, we can cast our Lingering Souls with Flashback, and that should clean up the game. Ooh, another Lingering Souls. Alright. So we'll put him to 13 here. And pass one more time. What does he have? His own Lingering Souls. Okay. Well, now we don't have to sack our Nihilith. Which, that was an odd play by him. I would have thought he would want me to sack that, but... So, Restore Balance. I'm going to have to discard a couple cards. I think it's going to be one Lingering... Oh, we're going to save, okay. We're going to save a Lingering Souls, we're going to save a Plains, and I think we just save another Lingering Souls. We're just going to go all in on our Lingering Souls and Nihilith. So we'll swing in here for 4, putting him to 8. And then we will cast our Lingering Souls, flash back our Lingering Souls, and I think we're pretty close to having this one wrapped up. Alright, I don't think we need to cast anything here. We'll just keep beating down. He's got to chump a Spirit token just to stay alive, or trade with one of them rather. I guess we can play this border post, and we'll just keep the land in our hand for now. And that's game 1. Well, went pretty well then. I mean, that's about how you draw it up. And that was, what, a mull to 5 too, right? I mean, that's the thing, like, it's sort of like Dredge or something. If you have the right combination of cards, it doesn't really matter how many of them you have in your hand. Like, having a 5-card hand that has a way to cascade into Restore Balance is perfectly acceptable. We're not, the way we get ahead on resources isn't by having more cards, it's by 5 for 1-ing or 10 for 1-ing our opponent with Restore Balance. So considering he had white mana, we probably want some number of Wismares. I think we can get rid of O-Ring. We can trim a Spirit Guide. We can probably trim 2 Spirit Guides. Fire Spout is another option. Those are the 2 cards I'm considering. I think we want at least 3 Wismares, just because almost every deck that has white mana in Modern is going to have Stony Silence in their sideboard. And even though we don't know that for sure, we can't take a risk because we just auto-scoop to that card if we don't have Wismares. Then I think maybe we'll just take out 1 Demonic Dread and bring in a Fire Spout. I guess we could also cut 1 Nihilith for a Fire Spout. I mean, Fire Spout definitely has some appeal when you're going up against Young Pyromancer and a bunch of tokens. Well, this hand is solid. We do have a Restore Balance, which is annoying, but we will be able to Violent Outburst on turn 3, assuming all goes well. So we'll just go on the border post plan here, bouncing our land to alternate cast it. Our mana is not quite right for Ardent Plea. There's a Wear. Well, gotta expect some amount of sideboard hate. So we will do the same thing again. Still, even after that Wear, we are only 1 mana source away from Violent Outburst. So we can actually Violent Outburst right now by playing Forest and Spirit Guide, but I think we gotta wait. We'll just play our Forest and pass. We just wouldn't be getting enough of an advantage. Having him sack 1 card isn't that exciting. There's a Bolt to the face, and a second Bolt to the face. Our opponent might be trying to empty his or her hand based on Restore Balance. Inquisition is pretty annoying at the moment. And he does take the Violent Outburst. Terramorphic isn't bad. That lets us get a white or a blue source. I'm assuming, given that we have Lingering Souls, we're probably just going to get a Plains here. Now, this hand isn't nearly as explosive as our Game 1 hand. Partly thanks to him and his hate cards. So now I guess we're going to cast a Vanefire Border Post, replay our Plains, and cast Lingering Souls. Lingering Souls is nice. Not only does it feed the Gargadon, which is its main purpose, but and also chump blocking, I guess. That's the 2 reasons why we really want the card in the deck. But it's also a very good way to pressure a Planeswalker. So if he plays a Sorin, we're going to be glad that we have those Spirit tokens out there. Forked Bolt to the face. Alright. Another Restore Balance. Well, we're going to attack with our Spirit tokens. We will flash back our Lingering Souls. I think we want... Are we going to suspend? I think we're going to suspend a Restore Balance here. I think 6 turns is long enough that if we haven't won the game by then, we're probably not going to. Well, now I'm definitely glad we did that because we don't have any pressure at all. So what would we like to draw? A blue source would be nice. Just keeps going after our artifacts. Fire Spout isn't bad, actually. If he gets a Pyromancer down or Lingering Souls or something, we'll be glad we have it. Border post to pick up the lands we do have down before balance comes off suspend. It would be ideal. Oh, no, there's a Violent Outburst. I think we gotta sit on that, though. I think here we're just going to pass and discard this Restore Balance. So this Restore Balance comes off suspend in 3 turns, which means in the next 2 turns we really would like to draw a Border Post. Lingering Souls, alright. Yeah, another Restore Balance. I guess we're just going to pass and discard another Restore Balance. We'll drop down to 10 here. So now we're really down to 1 turn to draw a Border Post to get more value from our Restore Balance. Now I'm wondering if we need to cast... We might need to cast that Violent Outburst right now. If we go to 6, he's what? He spent 2 Lightning Bolts so far? 1 Lightning Bolt. Going to 6 is a little scary. That makes us lose to double bolt. And he has a lot of cards in hand. I think we gotta take the risk though. And we'll play the Border Post, pick up our land, pass the turn, discarding. Maybe that was just wrong. Maybe I should, I guess, change of plans. We're going to replay our land, and we are just going to Fire Spout here to get rid of those Spirit tokens. I think going to 6 is too risky. I think I'd rather leave him with 1 extra land in play and not be at 6 than put him to 1 land at 6. Because the way we lose from that position is 2 Lightning Bolts, and 1 land over 2 turns can still cast the bolts. So here comes our Restore Balance. Not the best Restore Balance ever, but not horrible. Now I think we just play this Border Post, pick up our planes, and pass back. We're actually getting pretty close to drawing a Terramorphic Expanse or a Blue Source and killing him in like 1 or 2 turns with March of the Machines. Now we have another sort of tough decision. We only have 1 Restore Balance left in our deck. We can cast the Restore Balance, put him to 1 land, and then play our Evolving Wilds to find an island and plan on going on the beatdown plan. If we don't do that, we pretty much cancel out our Restore Balance anyway, because we're going to have to start playing lands. I think we have to do that. We're going to Violent Outburst here. Cascade into our last Restore Balance. So we'll cast that. This time we're going to have to discard a card, which is going to be an Ardent Plea. And we'll play our Evolving Wilds. So at the end of his turn, we'll crack Evolving Wilds for an island. Wispmare is fine. So I think here we're going to play our planes. We're going to exile the Spirit Guide, play March of the Machines, and swing for 9. And he's going to path one of our border posts. So let's see. We might be getting here. Getting there. Getting here. Kind of reminds me of if you've ever seen the Leyline deck in Legacy. The border posts with March of the Machines. Kind of the same idea. The Leyline deck is obviously way faster, but well, drawing more border posts is actually pretty sweet. So we're going to swing for 6, hopefully. See what he's got. Bolts one of our border posts. Takes 3. Now I guess we're just going to hard cast this Mistvein border post. And we got lethal on board again. Got the kaleidoscope mana base going on. I think this is the most lands I've ever had in play with this deck. Well, we're doing this the old-fashioned way. We'll swing for 6. He chumps. And I think we're gonna. I think we're just gonna hard cast this Simian Spirit Guide. I guess if he has like an Anger of the Gods, that would be really bad for us. But barring that, yep. Sweet. So, well, round 1 with our Restored Balance deck went pretty well. We took down Mardu Burn. So, yeah, I will be back with another match momentarily.